A coalition of political parties has announced plans to embark on a demonstration against government on May 5 over the suspension of Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo. The group, led by the New Patriotic Party, includes the Ghana Union Movement, Liberal Party of Ghana, National Democratic Party, and the People's National Party, and other political parties. They have vowed to strongly oppose and protest the use of political power to alter the laws, emphasizing the need to protect the country's democratic institutions. Let's get more on this from the NPP, and we're joined over Zoom by the NPP's Director of Communications, Richard Ahiagbah. Thanks for joining us, Richard. Tell us more on the reasoning behind this demonstration.
Well, thank you very much. I think our reason for demonstrating is clear, and as indicated in the notice that was issued by these 5 political parties. The idea for us is to demonstrate to the government that we are unhappy that we will not let this attempt by the government led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama undermine the sanctity of our institutions, particularly the judiciary. We will not let that pass unquestioned. And so we're inviting Ghanaians to join us to demonstrate to the government that our democracy matters to us and we want to preserve it. And therefore, the president should leave our institutions to work in the independence guaranteed them and in the Constitution. So that's really what we're out there to do, to let the government understand that we're unhappy about the politically motivated attempt to undermine the judiciary by removing the Chief Justice from office for reasons that we believe do not merit the action he's taking.
You also mentioned that the suspension mirrors a disturbing trend of judicial interference allegedly orchestrated by the NDC, and you referenced a 2010 plot that you say was in focus to remove CJ Georgina Wood, and you say history is being repeated?
The former Chief Justice, Madam or Justice Georgina Wood, herself made references to that there was tremendous pressure on her, tremendous pressure to push her out of office. And here we are, some years later, again the NDC seeking to push out another female justice. And I'm not sure if you look at it, perhaps not enough to form a trend, but it seems to me that the NDC has a thing against female justices, chief justices of our country. But larger picture for us is the idea that the Chief Justice will be removed for no justifiable reason whatsoever. And that for us is a concern. And if you pick that to be a trend, then that actually aggravates the situation and gives us reasonable basis not to sit idly by, but to act and act forcefully to let this NDC government understand that our political institutions will not be undermined, at least not when we can do something about it.
Right. One of the reasons you're also claiming that there are similar attempts to oust the EC and her deputies, allowing the NDC to capture the arms of government.
Clearly, you can see that. You see that the president received a petition, right, way back in January, for petitioning him to trigger a process to remove the EC commissioners. But he hasn't acted on those petitions. They're sitting in his office as you and I speak, way before he received petitions, which I believe were contrived petitions to remove the CJ. Why is he acting on the CJ? The only plausible basis for him to act on this one before the EC, which I think will be the next one up, is because he feels that the reasons are so flimsy, the reasons are so political that this Chief Justice will not act on them. And you know the removal of the EC rests with the CJ. CJ then has to take up that process. So he feels that he wants to then remove, the president wants to remove the CJ by triggering 146.6 to remove the CJ, then comes back and hand the EC removal to a CJ that he will appoint, who will be more pliant and desirous to do his bidding than the CJ in office. So really, the reasons that have been put forth to remove the Chief Justice currently, Madam Justice Gertrude Tokonu, are, for want of a better word, completely unnecessary. They are unmeritorious reasons for which anyone should want to aim at the judiciary of our country. And I think that the NDC must be served notice that what they are doing, other political parties, and more so the New Patriotic Party, is capable of doing that. But the idea is that when it comes to our democracy, nobody should be allowed the right to undermine it in the manner the NDC is trying to do.
All right, Mr. Ahiagbah, briefly before I let you go, where will this demonstration take place, and what's the format or route for it?
We know at this minute there are subsequent meetings to iron out the details. We're meeting later this afternoon, but then we know firmly it will be on the 5th, and the other details will be ironed out and discussed or shared with you in due course.